Morning. No, 55. Yeah. I was going to be late. Right. You have the pipeline up here. Awesome. Hello. The stands for cool. Morning, Connie. Got your whole household sick, huh? Got an infected foot. So I gotta find a place to go check it out for this puppy. Yeah. It was doing so well last week. Can they hear us?
Yeah, they should be able to hear us. Hello, can you guys hear us? Oh, yeah, it's audio.
Okay. So you got a new car?
What?
Did you get a new car?
No.
Oh, I see a gray Nissan back there.
No, I have the black Nissan.
Yeah, I know. I didn't see it in the parking lot. I thought maybe that was yours. Did you park somewhere else?
I just parked in the back corner.
Oh, okay. Be unmute. Oh, the system one. Oh, you gotta allow them to unmute, right?
It shouldn't have to by default.
Oh, look at chat. Or
There we go.
Oh.
Did you
funny.
change something?
No, didn't change anything.
Yeah,
Oh, weird.
very.
But yes, the whole house here is sick.
What the heck, man?
I think even the dog's got it. She's sneezing too.
Well, I was sick yesterday. I mean, my nose was a faucet. I couldn't stop it. Anyway, but it's gonna be better today after a night of NyQuil.
I've had several nights of NyQuil and several days of DayQuil, and I still am stopped up.
Yeah. So,
Is that Connie still sick?
yeah, and now Daryl and Christine and the dogs are talking.
Oh. I have to tell you guys, though, I did not get an email yesterday.
I sent an email yesterday morning to everybody.
I looked
Yeah,
at
because I had people answering me. So, yeah.
No, I didn't
Okay.
get that.
That's all right. I know it was.
It's okay, I don't, but I'll check it.
Is there a walk-in clinic in town?
Yes, well, over where the old St.
Hernandez.
Louis Hospital.
Oh, St. Louis is that one?
Yes, there is a
Okay.
walk-in clinic.
Okay, good.
It's a, what is it called? It's not called a walk-in clinic, but it's called an emergency clinic or
Okay,
whatever. Yeah.
okay, acute care.
Yes, acute care.
Okay, not at Juan Hernandez. There, that used to be years ago, but
I don't think so.
that's where Robinette is now, yeah.
Yeah, St. Louis, the kids have gone there.
Good. Then I know where to go. Okay, well, we have so we're recording this, right?
Yes.
We haven't started recording now.
Yeah,
Oh, are you at it?
I mean, I can, whatever we need to.
Oh, we got one, okay, perfect. Morning, Bertha.
Good
Where's-
morning. Good morning.
Everybody on, there you go. All right, so we're gonna have a slim crew today, but we're gonna record this, of course. And I think we forget to tell people where they can find the recordings. Where do we find the recordings, Raymond?
Well, if we post them, we'll post them on the YouTube channel, so this one will be posted on the exit.
You better tell us how to go to the YouTube channel.
I can send a link.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can just search up Exit Realty Keystone on YouTube and it'll pop up.
Yeah, that's good.
But I don't use YouTube that much, so yes. You should.
We'll send the. So, yeah. Yeah, most everybody's out and that's okay.
There are a lot of people not feeling well,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. Well, most of them are. Yeah, anyway, so we will, I wanna keep it simple today. Just to kind of review for the record, the inventory. And any new listings, et cetera. And then Bertha, if you have something not too intense, would be great. And then the third thing was to catch up with the personality profiles disc. There's, so that we kind of get the whole overview of all the 4 personality profiles. And then going forward, there'll be more, in depth. So that was my goal for today. And all right, so is this how we see the report or doesn't matter? I guess it's like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the actives, the
Okay.
statement,
So did you put Weeble went pending? Raymond will
did.
upload. Yes, we
Nice.
sold Weeble.
Wow. Wow, Margaret, that Amazing.
And actually got a second offer that was higher, but it carried seller financing and the seller wasn't too excited about that. So he took the lower offer, closes in 60 days. We'll see. I keep my fingers crossed on that because, vacant land, I mean, you gotta do perk tests, you gotta make sure you can build on it, so. So on the back side of that, I actually have out for signature 2 additional listings for lots 2 and 3. So those will go up at 600 each.
Wow.
So, yep. We lowered the price on Old Calaveras Road from 11,900,000 to 8 million.
Back to where it began.
No, actually it was 6.9 before. He didn't want to go quite that low. So we went to 8. I had 2 showings yesterday. I have another one wanting to see it. I'll show it tomorrow. Had to work around our noon meeting. And then Monterey Street, I have a buyer in there we're working with. SBA lending, and we have to get some, there's violations on that property, so I'm waiting to hear from a contractor today to go there and meet him and get an estimate on what that might be for the SBA loan, and then I can write an offer based on what that price is going to be. So all of a sudden everybody came out of the woodwork. Hallelujah.
Is Old Calaveras, that's considered residential, right? Is it considered commercial?
It's both.
It's both.
It's both, unfortunately. It does have a house on it, but that's not the value is in the land at Old Calaveras.
Commercial.
Yeah, and then it's got a 10,000 square foot, basically commercial building. So it's a mix, unfortunately. So that means I have to do everything for the house as I would for residency, but residential. Anyway, so it's been busy. I've been busy. So anybody else? What else is going on?
I showed 7 houses on Saturday.
Wow.
7 houses in Los Baños.
How did it go?
Oh, how did that go? Yeah.
So, but I don't see, I think that he is writing an offer on the very first one.
Okay.
And so I think Nikki has an offer in process right now. Oh, it's Nikki and Bob. Actually.
Right.
That's an offer in process.
Yeah, that's great.
But it was like boom, 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 boom. It went very nicely.
Yeah.
Good.
And I think Nikki also had a listing appointment with Bob.
Yeah,
That's why he's married.
Saturday in Los Gatos, so I don't know how that went.
Which she said went,
So.
yeah, because of the personalities that were there. Not that they did bad, but I guess the owner's children had friends or siblings or whatever. There was a lot of personality dynamics.
So we're doing personality training.
We're doing personalities.
That's why I brought it up.
That's good. That's amazing. Anybody else? What else is going on? Connie, you were showing a lot of houses, writing some offers. We didn't get one.
Yeah, I've written 5 offers for the same client. So far, we haven't gotten anything. Now they've decided the last offer I wrote was for a condo, which doesn't match the description that they gave me at all. There's no land, there's homeowners association. So, but that offer has expired and I have emailed, texted them, and they've gone dark. So what else is new? I have a client that's talking about listing her home, but it's in the senior community mobile. So
Mobile
maybe
home
it's
thing.
coming up. Yeah, it's what is that senior community over there off of Native Dancer?
Judy was coming in today.
Native
Cool.
off of Native Dancer is
Yeah, it's Woodland Estate.
Woodland.
Cool. There you go. Hey, we have
Judy.
Judy and a Tindy. I wondered, I figured school was out this week, so good. Yay. Who's out? Yeah, there was Bertha, Daryl, Connie.
Yeah, Woodland Estates, I think that sells pretty fast.
Yeah, depends on pricing.
I looked at the comps. They've been sitting. Some of them have been there for more than 40 days. There's like 3 of them that are for
Yeah,
sale.
but they're listed very high. I mean, I've seen
One of them is very high.
Yeah, I mean, almost 600 or something on one is 5.
Almost 7.
75, that's crazy.
I have a client who's looking for something in Woodlands.
Oh, wonderful.
So, yes,
Well, Connie may have a listing coming up.
great.
Let's do it.
I have a really nice one coming up. The kitchen was redone before we bought it, and she did the master bathroom, so it shows quite well. And it's
Does
one
it
of the
have
ones
a
that
garage?
has a garage.
It has a garage?
Yes,
Oh,
Awesome.
oh my gosh.
Let's do it in-house.
So what's your client's price point?
Well, probably 500 something, I'm not sure. But I took her to see 675 listed, and of course, that's too high, but you know, she just wanted to explore the park a little bit, but she's definitely set her heart on this park now.
good.
All right, so it's gotta be in the
Not listed
fives,
yet.
Connie.
As a matter of fact, I'm supposed to meet with her tomorrow in the office.
Awesome, cool, let's get a
Wednesday
deal.
or Thursday, yeah.
All right.
It's a way to do it without going live on the MLS.
Oh, yeah, you can do it inside the
Oh,
office,
that would be so
absolutely.
nice.
Yes, that's how I would
Yeah.
try to approach it.
Oh, absolutely,
And Connie will know, but.
Connie, yeah,
Okay.
that's what everybody else is doing.
And it may be even be a cash offer, we'll see.
Better yet,
Would be great. She understands about the shares in the park, right?
I think so. I had to educate her a little bit on that, but I already told her that the homeowner owns the land and she loves that part of it, and she's currently in a mobile home park in San Jose.
Yeah, big difference.
So she knows she has to sell that one too, I think, yeah.
Well, you should try and get that one.
of course.
We'll see.
Of course.
Well, you should pitch them to get on the market before they, you know, go actively out to sell, just so they already have that head start there. Instead of waiting to find that home and then having to go on
Yeah, but
market.
they had that, you know, older people have a hard time understanding, letting go what they have, because they,
Well,
and,
you know,
hang on, no, we understand it, but it's trying to impart that to a client is, oh my gosh, what if I sell my house and then I don't get another house and then I'm homeless, right? That's what hits their head. What do I do then? Do I have to go rent and then I gotta move twice? I mean, it's stressful enough to make the one move, no matter what age you are, it's stressful enough. And then to think that you're going to, you know, buy some or sell yours and be in contract, no matter how much we say, no, we can hold it. And, you know, it could be conditioned upon you finding another place, but they still worry because it's a fear.
Yeah,
It's a fear. And so you have to work through that.
right.
I mean, that's part of the
Right.
psychotherapy we do, right?
Yeah.
The therapy we do as agents. So anyway, no matter what. And I don't care how intelligent they are or how much they, you know, how experienced they are, they have, no. And I don't wanna put myself in that potential spot. So you gotta work through it. Anyway, all right. Anything else? Good of the order? Nothing, I thought Nikki was gonna be on, but okay. What else we got? We got some closings coming up. Yay,
Yep, 20th and 21st, it looks like.
great. Let's get
Oh, yeah,
those.
that's yours, Judy, right?
That's Judy's, yes, and the fellows, good. Get those closed before the end of the month.
That one is, oh my, crazy. Del Monte.
Del Monte's crazy, what's wrong with them? Purchase.
We were supposed to close the end, January 24th or 23rd, somewhere
Oh.
around there.
A whole month away.
Well, it's because the lender and the HOA, and HOA now, starting in March, for Del Monte, for our information here, it's gonna be like $770.
Wow.
Wow.
It's 800. Oh,
They
yeah,
don't
Del
have-
Monte's always been a problem.
Yes, so they,
Yes, history.
yeah, their current HOA is 520. They don't have flood insurance, how do they not have enough funds for the flood insurance? Charging 520 a month, I don't know, but they don't have flood insurance, so therefore lender for that loan. And so they had to find other lenders, the loan officer has to find other lenders to loan.
Interesting.
And now,
They need flood insurance there?
well, this particular lender, Fannie Mae something, they needed the HOA's flood insurance. So now, anyway, so they found a different lender who does not
Ah.
require that, but with higher interest rate and points and all
Ah,
that. So that's why there was such a long delay, and we weren't even sure if it
Well,
was going to.
Are they able to
2
buy it out
years
of the-
ago, there was a huge flood downtown in Morgan Hill, huge flood downtown. Yeah, so I'm sure they got more sensitive after.
I mean, it makes sense to have, you know.
But it's supposed to have been corrected. I mean, the city is supposed to have corrected all that, but your lender probably says, well, there's no guarantee of that.
Well, yeah, because the flood maps are still there.
You're right.
That's the problem, because they have, done all the drainage and stuff for that.
Kind of a shame, but.
Right, no, so that's why there's a delay. And anyway, but hopefully we are closing this Friday.
Yay, okay, knowing that the HOA is going up to almost 800 a month, huh?
Yeah, I know, this is a committed buyer, I should.
Yeah,
Like, I
definitely.
think last week I was still saying like, it's still okay to back out because you have not removed all of your contingencies yet, blah, 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 you know, you can still back out if you want to, she's going forward. I'm like, okay.
Make sure that's in writing, so
Where is this? Don't
an email or something.
Okay,
Well, to be fair,
Yeah, back here, secondos and the. you don't know those are- Yeah.
You can point that out.
All right, moving on, what else we got? Nothing?
that's it.
Okay, Berta, you got 2 minutes, you wanna partake, give us any info or
Yes,
updates?
yes, good morning, everybody. So basically, I just wanted to bring your attention to the property 13364. If you can open it, please, Brisa del Mar. Yeah, let's take.
Nobody, none of the owners are here on that one, is this a learning experience or? That's Dorothy and Dorothy's listing, right?
Yes.
Yes, and thanks to Dorothy and Pauline, right?
Pauline,
Pauline, yes, I'm sorry. I can display this right now.
oh, okay,
Yeah, thanks to them that they have this new listing. So guys, I want you to take a look at the top portion of this file. Raymond, if you don't mind to go up a little bit more to the beginning of the file. Yeah, so as you can see, we have all this set up last year, which works beautiful here, really good. We know right away what I'm dealing with, or Margaret knows right away. Then listed on, you can leave it, it's up to you. And then list price, it's up to you. Everything in the middle, I don't care that much, but I do care about, if you can scroll down to other, please. Yeah, other. You see year built, we need that. Homeowners association information will go under more information, which should be actually listing tracking points. And I want to bring your attention what this means. And if you remember before, agents had all kinds of information here. We're not going to do that. It should be clean and beautiful and easy to understand what it is. So listing period, listing docs to the office. And then I asked Raymond, were you able to change any of this that I sent you email about?
this
Or
morning,
you
I don't think he had time this morning. So,
Probably not. Yeah, that's what I thought. So guys, this particular portion will be called listing tracking points or listing tracking information, whatever Raymond puts there. And as you can see, the purpose of this particular section is very important. We will track down everything that's required by RLA, right? By the listing agreement. It's not too many points here. It's not like purchase contract, which we will be working next time, next March training. I will be presenting my ideas about handling that. So it's very important that you see how beautiful it looks. It looks clean. It looks very, it looks exactly like it should look. This is how we should have it. So next time you have new transaction, you will use the template that Raymond, thanks to Raymond, we have this template, which will be modified slightly. But the idea is that here you put the dates. Now let's talk about that. If you can see here, investigation reports order date. So not known yet. The purpose of this template is like you are doing actually with a purchase contract. Once you have a contract, you put the dates when deposit should go to escrow date, this and that. This is what we need here. We don't need any explanation, just the date. So according to RLA, it requires 5 days or whatever you come up with. We talked about that to put here. So we need the dates. So nothing words here, no words initially, just the dates. Please remember when you, because I don't want you to redo all this again. So again, the template will be modified just very slightly to be more more explanatory, I should say. And no in process or in progress, we don't need that. We need the dates. Now, if the date has not been achieved by the date that you put here, then you put here the explanation why not. So Margaret, just in case she's audited, she will have the whole picture right there. She doesn't need to look through documents or missing documents or whatever. So I find it very helpful for me that I can really kind of watch for it and help you if something is missing, alert you to that. This is kind of very helpful, but Margaret will love it in case she's audited. This is all I wanted to say. So again, just to reiterate, you put the dates, nothing that in progress, in process, not that there yet. You can put HOA docs, for example, it will be here. Not applicable, yes. Of course, you can put that if it's not applicable. But that's about it. I'm looking for the dates exactly like you're doing with the purchase contract when you first get it.
Okay, no, I like it because it's a summary, right? It's just a summary of the activities and it's clean and easy. You don't have,
Yeah.
like you said, you don't have to go through and try to comb through the documents and read them to find
Okay.
out, okay, what am I supposed to do? So thank you.
Where do we, how do we access this template?
So this is automatically applied to any new transactions.
Yeah,
It's
he's,
on pipeline.
So anytime you start a new transaction in pipeline, this will automatically populate, just the dates will be blank. So you'll just go into the edit tab. So you'll go into edit transactions. And then if you scroll down, it's just right there.
got it. Okay, in there. And please put in buyer source or seller source. I appreciate it because it just helps you, helps the, you know, the brokerage, but it helps you track where you're getting your business. It helps me understand, you know, definitely what your sphere of influence is doing, or just that you're doing a good job of it, right? Might need some help, but it's important to put that in
So when I showed all those houses in
most times.
Los Angeles, they did not have, most all of them did not have any investigations done.
Oh.
So where it's traditional here that we do, the seller pays for that investigation, they didn't. So you're saying you just put not applicable if your listing doesn't include any of those investigations, Berta, we'll just put not applicable.
So I think it will be much easier to answer. This is a very good question. If Raymond doesn't mind to take us to residential listing agreement for a second, if that's okay with Margaret, I can show you what I mean so that you know exactly what I mean. And we are going to change the wording slightly that it's more explanatory. So it's much better this way. So it will take just a second, but you know exactly what I mean.
I did talk to them
While
about
she-
inspection, getting a
While
buyer.
you guys go there, I put a question in chat. What does evidence of authority to broker date? Is that the date that we submitted it to paperless pipeline?
So let's
Yeah.
take a look at it. Let's take a look at the answer is in the contract. So let's take a look at it together. So
Yeah.
you kind of will have the answer.
Yeah, Berta's reviewed that at nauseam. Anyway, but when we follow it.
Yeah. So basically, you will see here, guys, what I mean. The dates.
Very few of them have disclosure links even.
How long
I
have they
mean,
been
I
on the
didn't go
market?
to look at the
Right, but you
disclosures,
gotta
but very
ask.
few of them even had disclosure links.
I don't always have
Most,
links up.
Yeah, but most, well,
And
it did not have inspections.
No, it's,
You said the RLA, Berta, right?
yeah.
Natural hazard,
Overlay, yes, please.
which kind of puts the burden on the buyer, right?
Seller guide, what
Oh.
else? What? We just want the.
When did they do that?
No, no, we
There.
don't need the guide. We just need listing agreement exclusive. Yeah. Mhm.
kind of
Very
tricky.
good. Very good.
Well, that's correct. So, in the Bay Area, we do it, but not necessarily other places. So,
Yeah, this is a guide. Okay, let's go to the, yeah, scroll down, you will see that listing agreement. So I'll show you what I mean. This way you will know. So let's go to page 2.
Issue.
she's talking about authority.
Oh,
Okay. Fire investigation.
Okay, so I'm
So
trying
that's-
to, so you guys look as well. I'm trying to do it quickly, so
I think it's up, right?
it should say page 2, I believe. I'm still looking for it. Okay, it says here, yes, F3. Let's go to page 2, F3. F3, okay, and go to the last column. Seller shall order and pay for any reports selected within 5 days or whatever you put here. So we are going to change the wording for that to make it very clean. It's not what I meant right now. This is what I mean. So you need to put the date when seller pays and orders the reports. That's what, do you understand, right, guys? Let's go back to this. Where did you go?
So
Okay,
that's the investigation reports one though.
yeah,
What about the evidence,
Yeah, we're looking for the evidence of authority.
broker?
I will be there in a second. I just still want to finish. I want to make sure, guys, that you understand that this is what I meant, okay? If you seller shall order and pay for any report selected days of the beginning date of this agreement, you count the dates and you put there. That's what auditors are looking for. DRE is looking for things like that nobody really pays attention. That's how they nail people and
if it's only the hazard, that date is gotta be put there. I understand now, yes.
you understand, right? So that's what I'm looking for. The date, again, everything is whatever is in the contract is right there. Then on RLA, let's go to page to answer Connie's question. Let's go to page 6, please. 22. Paragraph 22, please. Paragraph 22. Page 6.
Move it up. Thanks.
Okay, go to II. 22 II.
Right there.
Yes, so
Oh, so whoever the signature initials, the legal authorized signer, identifies the signer.
identify the signature block below appear on the agreement. It shall be deemed, okay. So the legal authorized signer represents that the legal authorized signer, whoever it is, but let's go back to II, shall deliver to broker within 3 days. So it's the seller who needs to do that. 3 days after execution of this agreement. That's what you count. Once you are in agreement, you count 3 days that the seller needs to do that. This way, when you present this timeline to the seller and even ask them, well, no, you don't need to do anything else because they already signed for it. So no, please disregard that. But if you present this timeline, said this is what you have, this is what you need to do according to the agreement to be compliant, that's how you show professionalism. You show that you know what you're doing. It's a really great thing to do. It worked for me, guys. It worked for me. That's why I insist on doing the things right, because it does show that you know what you're doing.
Yeah, so Connie, you understand what this is? It's if it's a trust, if they're a trustee, they're selling as a trust, you need to have, certification of trust. You need to see that they really are an authority
And
to.
realistically, it's just always 3 days. So when you go in there, it's just 3 days from the day that you sign the contract.
Okay, that's good.
Connie, did you?
Only if it's a trust or an LLC, right? Not if it's an individual seller.
No, 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 no. Only if it's in trust or it's an LLC or probate, things like that. It says right there in the contract which ones is it. But is it clear for you, Connie, right now? That's where you got this information to put on your template. So let's go back to the template for a second again, one more time, please. Okay, so as you can see, everything will be here. Now you see the dates when you need this to be done. If that doesn't happen, and of course it may not happen, real life is not that easy. So you put explanation. That's how you cover yourself. You put an explanation. You put the new date per seller's request. The date is this one. Something like that you put there. That Margaret knows exactly what's happening, please. Okay? And I suggest, this is my suggestion, to make sure that everything is going as a flow, meaning that you guys, you are the ones, the listing agents, need to make sure that, again, if something does not happen, you have explanation and you come up with a new date. Because I will ask you for that. It's rework. You don't need rework. You don't need extra stress. Do it right from the very beginning.
Sounds like a good recommendation. Do it right first time. Thank you, Berta.
You're so welcome. And by the way, I want to show you something since we're here. Can we scroll to listing docs, please? Can we scroll to listing docs? So this particular transaction, I don't know the reason why, because everybody knows by now that the initial package, listing package goes first, right? And a residential listing agreement should be first. I'm reminding you that it's very important that we keep the flow, that Margaret doesn't have any issues. Everything, every attorney you go to will not look at anything else but the contract first. So that's why we need contract first, addenda to the contract, any modifications to the contract. This goes in the flow. That's your flow. Please make sure that you do that. Otherwise, again, it will be rework for you. And if it's not done the way we need to be done, when I am asked at the close of escrow if the file is completed that you can get paid, I will say no, it's not completed. It's not done. Okay, so please make sure that it's very easy to do it the first time, right? That's all I have.
Just to have it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. So with that, we're gonna go on to our personality profiles. So we've got topic 3. Did you send them topic 4 too? I was told 3 topics, 3, 4, and 5.
Oh, we're doing 3, 4. Oh no, I didn't know we were doing. We'll have to do that as we get there because otherwise
Yeah.
we'll move on to the next
Okay,
training.
all right, so
right
let's
now-
do full screen. And everybody, Raymond, I think you need is that horn need to be unchecked?
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So hopefully you all received your worksheet. We're gonna go on to topic 3. On the disc.
And real quick, I emailed everyone the worksheet. So if you want it, it is in the email.
Angel Tucker here with the second video in our 4-part series that'll introduce the wonderful world of DISC to you. In the last video, you learned all about the dominant D-type. This session will focus on the I-type. The letter I stands for inspiring. They are outgoing, just like our Ds, but instead of being task-oriented, they are people-oriented. They're represented by the color red, and their sign or symbol is a star. So if you're an I, woohoo, you just got a red star. So here are words that describe the I personalities. Influencing, Inducing, they're good at drawing others in. Impressionable, so the last movie they saw is the best movie they have ever seen, and the last restaurant they ate at is the best restaurant they have ever eaten at, and the last person they were with is their best friend, because they don't remember what happened before that. They're also interchangeable. They'll talk to the person in the taxi cab, the elevator, the grocery line. It doesn't matter, they never meet a stranger. Involved, they like to be involved. Imaginative, boy are they imaginative. And they're very interested in things. Now the challenge word for this personality is illogical. Sometimes it can be just a little illogical. And they are about 25 to 30% of the population. Now just like the D's where we talked about their base.
Everyone can hear, right? On Zoom?
Oh, let's see what the chat says. What does that mean? Oh, okay, keep going. There's more.
Sound is greatly distorted.
Oh. It's men's voice, really?
That's a little bit.
I don't know, maybe I've got it too
It's a
high.
little delayed.
Oh, and that's coming out of the hang on,
Oh, it's coming out of our speaker.
Basic needs. The basic needs of the I are approval and recognition.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Remember, if you don't know where to start when it comes to interacting effectively with a personality type, always start with their basic needs. For the inspiring I type, this means letting them know how much you admire them and brag on them in front of other people. You will see an I absolutely light up if you do either of these things. These guys are bottom line communicators, just like our Ds. So they're bottom line when it comes to receiving information. But when you ask them a question, they may give you a very long response. They may go down lots of rabbit trails or side roads, and they might not even fully answer the question. The I personality type lives in extremes. So that means they either love it or they hate it. There is not much middle ground with the I. They also may be happy 1 minute and in total tears the next. You never know what you're going to get. If you've ever heard someone being described as a drama queen, they are most likely an I personality. And their aim in life is to have fun. In fact, they are the funniest person they know. They can entertain themselves for long periods of time. You hear them singing in the shower or making funny faces in the mirror. They also make friends easily. As I mentioned before, they'll talk to pretty much anyone, and they love being the life of the party. In fact, when they walk into the room, they're looking for someone to entertain. They want to know who's in the room for them to play with. This personality tends to speak loudly and quickly. And they absolutely love surprises. They love surprise parties. They love surprise gifts. They love surprises of any kind, and they love to give surprises to their friends. The I personality is also a great starter. And that's it. I types have lots of unfinished stuff out there because they start something they find fun or interesting. But when it starts to seem like boring or like work, they'll start something else. It's kind of like squirrel. They're great at persuading and motivating other people, and they get others excited just by them being excited. Their excitement transfers to other people. I types also don't like doing the same thing over and over again. They're annoyed by routine and perfectionism. They prefer to have variety and flexibility. They also don't like to plan everything out. They would rather just figure things out as they go, and they like to change plans very quickly. This personality, just like our Ds, believes in quantity, not quality. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be good enough. And they tend to be more disorganized in nature. They try though. Sometimes they clean out their car and they say it's going to stay this way. And it usually lasts 3 days or 2 hours. And then they have burger wrappers and water bottles and everything else back in there again. I types are very forgetful in nature. If you've ever seen Finding Nemo, I want you to think of the fish Dory because that is an I personality. In fact, my husband, who is an I personality, rarely leaves the house one time. He is usually coming back in for his lunch, his phone, his sunglasses, or whatever else he's left behind. When they invented something to put on objects to find them with your phone, they made the life of the I personality much easier. I's are also very creative and imaginative. In fact, they tell a story for the effect, not the truth. So whenever an I is telling you a story about something they experienced, enjoy the story, but also know there may be a few things in there that have been fluffed up a bit just to make that story a little bit more entertaining. This personality also tends to have an event of the day where something unexpected has happened, and it's usually their own fault. I can't even tell you how many times my husband has left his credit card at a restaurant when we're traveling, or busted through a hole in the ceiling in our house because he took the wrong step in the attic, or spilled a gallon of paint on our brand new carpet. Trust me, I could go on and on. These events are normal for the I personality type. Remember in the last video about the D types when I said there are two personalities who become bored very quickly? Well, this is the second type. They need lots of stimulation and activity. They're also the other personality type who spends money. In fact, this personality type is the worst about saving money. And finally, this is also the personality type who may talk over the end of your sentence or interrupt you when you're speaking. Speaking of speaking, see what I did there? When you're talking to an I personality, they don't hear everything you say to them. They only hear bits and pieces of what you say. That's because when you're talking, here's what they're actually thinking. When you stop talking, it's my turn. When you stop talking, it's my turn. And they're just excited that as soon as you're done talking, they get to talk again. So if you're saying something important to an I type, you might want to verify that they heard the important parts. If you see a woman and she has a big purse, it is likely an I personality. What you may not realize about this purse is that it has a name. It is called the mother purse. And the purpose of the mother purse is to carry baby purses inside. I have seen up to 8 baby purses inside a mother purse. These are for quick trips into the store. If you see an I carrying a baby purse, it came out of the mother purse. This personality also likes to dress for the occasion. So you may see them wearing flashing light bulb earrings during the holidays or a Santa hat. They'll even decorate their car by putting antlers and the Rudolph nose on their car. I types do not like doing things they don't perceive as fun. In fact, they'll delay a task as long as they can or get someone else to do those things for them. This personality will physically hold on to people when they're talking to them, or they may stand a little closer to someone else than the person is comfortable with. They do this because they don't want the person to get away before they finish telling this awesome story. And if you try to walk away when they're talking, they'll just follow you because they have no idea you're trying to get away. They think you just want to talk somewhere else. If you ever see someone in the parking lot and they're trying to set off their car alarm, it is probably an inspiring I type. They regularly forget where they parked their car. And if they own more than one car, they might not even remember which car they drove. Being able to drop a pin in their location on their phone has definitely been helpful for the I's when they remember to drop the pin. I types are one of 2 personalities that are easily influenced. If you have their attention long enough, you can talk them into almost anything. Sometimes the obvious goes right over the heads of the I personality types. Here's a perfect example. A few years ago, my husband and I were driving on a street in our town. My husband points to a specific spot on the side of the road. He then says, "I don't understand why there are always people standing there. No matter what time of the day we drive down this street, there are always people there. I wonder why they stand right there. I looked at him in total disbelief, and then I said to him, "Sweetheart, it's a bus stop." I also have an child, and when she was younger, she asked me why people bury their relatives on the side of the road. I asked her what she was talking about with a very confused look on my face. She said, "I see crosses all the time on the side of the road." I then had to explain to her that a person died there, but they are not buried there. I-types are also easily distracted. It's hard for them to focus on one thing for several minutes. Their mind starts wandering or something catches their attention. This personality can be much like a chameleon. They tend to blend in with anything going on around them. In fact, they can change on a dime without missing a beat. For example, maybe there's a group of people talking about business. Then another group who are laughing at a joke. Then another group who are talking about something sad. They will adjust immediately to whatever is going on in each group. I-types absolutely love to use Post-it notes. They have them everywhere. By the way, D-types tend to use Post-it notes as well. While I'm mentioning the D-types, here's another thing that both the I-type and the D-type do. They both clean their house like they have ADD. They go from room to room, doing something in each room instead of cleaning one entire room at a time. They may make the bed, put the clothes in the washing machine, empty the dishwasher, take out the garbage, check the mail, wipe down the bathroom counter, then put the clothes in the dryer. They are all over the place. They also can't stand if someone has a secret. They will usually do whatever it takes to get in on the secret. They'll buy you lunch, they'll bring you little surprises, whatever it takes to figure out your secret. They also say things like, "I shouldn't tell you this, but," and they can't say no to others, which probably got them in a lot of trouble as a child. Now, this personality also makes decisions based on emotion. So if their emotions change, so will the way they feel about a situation. This can make it very challenging when you're trying to know how they truly feel about something. One of the biggest challenges for an I personality is being on time. They have no concept of time, and they're almost always running late. They even try things like setting their clock 10 minutes ahead, and they will still be late. This actually reminds me of a meme I've seen plenty of times that shows a woman on the phone telling someone she'll be there in 5 minutes, and she's actually still in the bed. This is definitely an I. This personality loves to be hugged and kissed, and they're going to hug and kiss everyone around them. And they repeat things because they forgot they said it. They may say the same thing 5 times as if they've never said it before. I-types are also willing to try new things that have never been done before. They have a very adventurous spirit. And this personality is motivated by status and prestige, just like the D-types. So if you want them to do something, just tell them how doing this is going to make them look good to someone else, and they're probably going to do it. Now, as I mentioned in the previous video, there are other videos in this series that will give you more insights for each personality type. One will talk about each personality type and how to tell whether they're under control or out of control, and another will let you know each personality type and how they can be perceived if they're not careful. I hope this gave you lots of great insights into the inspiring I personality type. Did anyone come to mind as you were watching this video? Maybe you are an I type. Maybe you have a child or a sibling. The great thing about understanding personality types is you can use these insights in any situation, whether it's at home or at work. You can definitely benefit from understanding and using these insights to create better interactions with others. If you're looking for a great resource to teach you more about personality types, there are some amazing ones in our online store at usingdisc.com. There are 2 things I recommend you start with. One is the book, Stop Squatting with Your Spurs On. This is your go-to for remembering how to interact with different personality types effectively. The other is an MP3 titled Moving Forward. It has 33 quick tips on interacting with different personality types. That's it for this session. Stay tuned for the next video about the S personality types. Take care.
That was enlightening.
Very funny.
So as we've said before, you know, it's, you usually don't have one that's pure, you know, we have a blend, or we can have, but it's a dominant, right? So, it's interesting. Shoot, so, okay, we can stop the share, because we're done with that.
It's also creepy how honestly it defines some parts of personalities, right?
Oh,
Kinda
we're
creepy.
on the other one. Okay, let's see the peoples. Let's see the peoples. Okay, I guess we can go through the worksheet, answer the questions. So number one, I types are outgoing and blank oriented.
People oriented.
Okay, you are correct. The basic blank of an I are approval and recognition. Needs. Oops. The I personality type lives in what?
Extreme.
Extreme, yeah.
Good.
Oh, we have to have a teacher here. I types blank loudly and quickly.
Hey,
Okay, speak. I types are annoyed by blank and perfectionism. They prefer
Routine.
variety and flexibility. They're annoyed by what?
routine,
Yay. Who's answering all this?
That's kind of.
Connie. I types tend to have an event of the
day,
I type need blank of stimulation and activity.
lots,
This one's an easy one, huh? 8, I types only hear bits and pieces of what you
Say,
Say,
okay. I types like to what for the occasion?
dress,
Yeah, they wear the sparkly earrings, the striped stockings for Christmas. Number 10, I type will physically blank onto people.
hold on to,
Thank you. Okay, true or false? I types are easily influenced.
true.
true,
true,
I types have trouble saying no to others.
True.
true,
true,
I types do not like surprises of any kind.
false,
Sometimes the obvious goes right over the head of an eye.
true,
I types have no trouble focusing and they can pay attention for long periods of time. True or false?
Oh.
Yeah.
false,
So, did any of you identify? Was there any aha moment?
Well, my purse has about 3 little ones inside.
That's your high part.
That's my mother purse.
Okay, yes, we have an eye in the room.
It's just so funny, I've never actually heard about this mother purse
Yeah,
concept, but
yeah, that's funny. That's good. All right. Anybody else? I mean, I identified some of my husband in there. Yeah, lots of projects. Doesn't wanna, and none of them finished. That's why we'll never actually move. Because there's too much there to finish. Anyway, so funny. All right, shall we move on to the S's? Y'all up for it? Can you put them in? Number 4, the supportive S. We're really
we
getting
don't
better.
have a worksheet for S.
no
Yeah.
worksheet,
No worksheet, he'll send you one, right? That's, okay.
Send first.
Well, I'll get there. They come in succession, so
Yeah.
I can't get to one. I'm looking for one, Gilroy. Looking for acute care there. Starting. Oh, urgent care. Doctors on duty. Oh, what's in that? Central Health and Gilroy's got a 1.6
Reading.
But
Yeah, Central works, but it's not great.
It's not great, yeah.
They have one in San Jose.
Alright, so I'm gonna
Well,
come
you're
back
gonna-
here.
You're
You
gonna
guys
take
know first.
time. It's called urgent care, right? That's.
Yeah, but they're all like,
But, you know, yeah, they call it urgent care, but it used to
They
be
call it-
CVS had one, but I think they closed it. They did, yeah,
Oh, no, I need the
CVS,
doctor with this.
well, they might have had a nurse practitioner, but I don't think it is anymore, Martin.
Actually, DePaul doesn't have that good of ratings either.
You think a doctor might have been calling,
Huh?
you know, things, Robin, done it over again.
I don't know how to call them.
I think I just called.
I'm gonna call her first. That's just me. Okay, well, you guys listen.
They might
Robin.
sneak you in quick.
I just gotta take these blueprints down to Gilroy. With the contractor. I got a mobile number, so I'll text her.
Yeah, I think actually.
Angel Tucker here with the third video in our 4-part series that introduces you to the different personality types using the DISC model. We've already gone over the dominant D types and the inspiring I types, and hopefully you're already putting some of the insights to use to help improve your communication with them. This time we're focusing on the supportive S personality type. Keep in mind that you are not all of any one personality type. You are a blend of all 4. So if you heard something in both of the previous videos that described you, that's the way it should be. 100% of what I say won't describe you because you're not 100% of just one letter. Everyone is their own unique blend of these letters. In fact, there's a video in this series specifically talking about personality blends. So as you may have realized, the letter S stands for supportive. These guys are reserved and people-oriented. They're represented by the color blue, just like the beautiful morning sky. Their sign is plus or minus because for the most part, they don't let things bother them the way that other personality types might. Yes, I'm talking about the D types here. So here are some words that describe the supportive S personalities. They're steady, stable, they like to keep the status quo, sameness, they like things to stay the same, they're very sentimental, they're shy, they love to serve others, they're very sweet, and their challenge word can be a sucker. These guys can be a sucker. They can let people take advantage of them. Now, this is about 30 to 35% of the population. So where do their basic needs? You may remember I mentioned these when we talked about the D and the I type. The basic needs for the S is appreciation and security. So what does this mean? This means they want to know you enjoy their company so they can feel secure in their relationship with you. If you've ever read the book, The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman, you may realize that each personality type will choose very specific love languages. This would be a great book to go back and read after you complete the 4th video in this series. If you've never read the book, it would be an awesome book for you to purchase and read once you finish the next video about the C types. This specific personality type will choose things like quality time and words of affirmation as their love language. The supportive S types are A to Z communicators. They love information, but the key is always to make it easy to understand. They don't want to have to dissect the information. S types would rather listen and show support than to be center stage. They aren't really interested in being in the spotlight. They're more concerned with knowing you love and appreciate them, and that you value them as a person and that you're thankful for their help. This is one of 2 personality types that is methodical and systematic. They like when systems are in place and that things happen in an order that makes sense. The supportive S types have trouble making decisions. And I don't mean life-changing decisions. I mean any decision. You heard me mention my husband a few times in the video about the I types because that is one of the 2 personality letters that is most dominant for him. The other one is this letter. He is an IS personality blend. In fact, he's pretty equal in these two letters. I have so many memories regarding my husband and him trying to make a decision. It seems to take him an eternity to decide almost anything. With me being a high D, it is a good thing I understand personality types because waiting on an S to make a decision can be excruciating. In fact, I'll tell you a secret. When we go to a restaurant, it can take him 20 minutes to decide what he would like to order off the menu. As a D, I am at the restaurant because I'm hungry and I want to order as soon as possible. What I've learned to do is to quickly scan the menu and find a few choices that I know my husband would enjoy. I then point out those things to him, and 99% of the time, he will choose one of those two. Anytime I ask him something like, "Do you want dessert?" he'll answer with, "Maybe." And I already know that means yes, even if he doesn't know that means yes. S types also dislike conflict. And in fact, they may stop talking altogether. Now, if you're a D and you're trying to argue with an S, this can be very frustrating because you yell, they're supposed to yell back. We all know how it works, right? In fact, S's are so interested in avoiding conflict that sometimes they cause conflict, okay? Everything is personal to an S type. You cannot have a D conversation. So if you need an S to help you with something and you are a D, you better ask in their language or you'll spend more time fighting about the way that you're doing it now. Here's an example. Let's say you're calling Nancy on the phone to ask them to give you a phone number from a piece of paper on your desk. Here's how the conversation should go. "Hi, Nancy. It's so good to hear your voice. I'm in a bit of a bind and I'm hoping you can help me out with something. There's a piece of paper on my desk with a phone number for John Smith. I accidentally left this morning without the number and I promised to give him a call in a few minutes. Is there any chance you would be able to get me the number?" She'll be more than happy to get you the number because you spoke her language. Now, after she gives you the number, the conversation should continue something like this. "Oh, thank you so much. You're a lifesaver. I wish I had more time to talk to you, but I am so under the gun. Would it be okay if we talk later? I love you so much. I hope you have an amazing day." Not only was she happy to help you, but she loves that you showed her appreciation for her help. This is very different than calling a dominant D, where the conversation can simply be about telling them the phone numbers on the piece of paper on your desk, and then once you get the number, say, "Okay, bye." This is the perfect example how meeting someone's personality needs can create better interactions with others. S types also make good mediators. They are really good at trying to see a situation from both people's perspective. If you have a disagreement with someone, the supportive S type is an awesome personality to assist in coming up with a solution that is beneficial to both people. They also love to wear jeans and sweatshirts or more casual, comfortable clothing. When I married my husband, he had shorts that were probably 20 years old. When I asked him why he still had them, he said, "Because they're comfortable." This personality is actually the hardest to figure out just by looking at them because they don't exhibit any obvious traits like the other personalities do. So guess what we have to do? Sometimes it's easier to figure them out by eliminating the other personality types. For example, if they're not moving and jumping and waving and wiggling, we know they're not a D or an I type, so we can at least eliminate those and know that they're an S or a C. Believe it or not, just by knowing this, you now know a lot about how to interact with them. I'll talk more about that in another video. S-types have a high degree of patience and sensitivity, and they're annoyed by people who are impatient or insensitive. In fact, if they observe someone being treated poorly, they'll actually stand up for that person, and you might think they're a D because they did that. S-types don't offend others or call attention to themselves. and they're never in a hurry. In fact, they have two speeds, slow and panic. You cannot rush an S. If you do, bad stuff will happen. They will get very flustered. Things will break. It is not pretty. So just like with the inspiring I types, always tell the S much earlier than you really want them to do something or when you want them to leave the house. This personality does a great job following through on commitments, but they're very slow to begin a task. You see, anytime they have a choice between doing a task or being with people, they'll be with people and put off the task. The good news is they are strong finishers. S-types also develop solid relationships, both business and personal. They are very loyal. This personality type is also very anxious with the unknown. They would rather know what's going to happen so that they can plan accordingly. They also don't like constant change like the D and the I types do. They prefer for things to stay the same in most situations. S-types have many friends because they're so easy to get along with. They always have time for others, no matter how busy they are. If someone comes to them and says, "Can I talk to you?" an S can stop everything they're doing and take as much time as that person needs to help them. This is something a dominant D would definitely struggle with. A D would inwardly think, "I hope this is quick. Can you give me the short version of your problem?" S-types will also act like they agree with what you're saying, even if they don't. You may think they're agreeing because they're shaking their head this way, but on the inside, they're thinking, "I am never doing that. I'm going to wait as long as I possibly can to let them know, but I am never doing that." The pace of an S personality is slow, relaxed, and patient, and they believe in quality, not quantity. If you remember, both the D and the I types are quantity driven, but an S will take a lot of extra time to complete something to try to get it just right. They're willing to put in the extra time and effort to do the best possible job they can. S-types tend to have a dry sense of humor, and they're often worried about making a fool of themselves. This is the other personality type that makes decisions based on emotion, not logic. They may tell you how they feel about something and then totally change their mind. You may have the same challenge with the S-types as you do with the I-types of knowing what they really want. Also, just like the I-types, if you have their attention long enough, you can pretty much talk them into anything. S-types are not multitasked people. They prefer to work on one or two things at a time, do their very best, and then work on one or two more. They can become easily overwhelmed if you try to give them too many tasks at one time. The S-types are so sweet that sometimes they allow people to take advantage of them. They may also try to make excuses for another person and give them multiple chances when the other person does something wrong. If you're an S, it's important to make sure you don't become an enabler of the poor choices someone else makes. This is much more damaging to them in the long run. Believe it or not, S-types can be very stubborn. Even though they're as sweet as can be, once they've made up their mind, it is very difficult to get them to change it. Right or wrong, they figure it took them long enough to make this decision in the first place, and they don't want to start that process all over again. Supportive S-types are motivated by safety and security. So this is very different than the two personality types at the beginning, the Ds and Is, who are motivated by status and prestige. This gave you some valuable information to help you understand the supportive S personality. The world is definitely a more peaceful place because of them. Can you think of an S-type you know? If so, ask yourself, what is one thing you can do differently when you're interacting with them to make your relationship even better? Just by making even one simple change, you can also change the dynamics of the relationship for the better. That's it for this session. I look forward to you watching the fourth and final video in this series that gives you a close look at the cautious C personality type. Until then, take care.
All right. So Margaret had to step up because unfortunately she has an infection on her foot. So we will continue. I have the answer sheet here. Anyone that's pulled it up on Zoom, we'll just go through them. You are not all of any blank personality.
One.
S types are reserved and or
Detailed.
people oriented. S types love to serve blank. Others.
Others.
About people.
The blank needs of an S are appreciation and security.
Basic.
Yes. S types would rather listen and show support than to be blank stage. Center stage. S types are methodical, blank, systematic.
And
Was it orderly?
And.
And.
Number 7, S types, blank, conflict.
avoid.
Dislike.
Dislike, yeah. Sometimes you have to figure out an S by blank of elimination.
Process.
S types are blank in a hurry.
Never.
Never in a hurry.
That's my sister.
S types blank like constant change.
Not.
All right. True or false? S types want bottom line information.
False.
That's false.
Oh, false. Okay.
S types want to know that you enjoy their company.
True.
S types may let people take advantage of them.
True.
True. You should always tell the S types what time you really want to leave.
False.
False.
Tell them earlier.
I'll tell them earlier.
Yeah, at least 15 minutes earlier.
An hour earlier.
Yeah, depending.
Everyone is 100% of just one personality letter.
False.
I liked the stubborn there, very good, stubborn.
All right, so should we do one more, the last one for C?
Yes. I think Margaret wanted to get through all 4 of these.
All right. Go ahead and email you guys out the next one.
Well, we need the sheet.
Yes, I'm gonna email it to you guys right now. All right, there we go.
Angel Tucker here with the fourth video that gives you an in-depth look at each personality type. This last video will be all about the C personality. As I mentioned in the previous videos, keep in mind that you contain all 4 of the letters to some degree. We all have at least one thing we do in each of the letters. In fact, I'll share the C thing that my husband does in this video. I hope you'll get a laugh out of it because I sure didn't. I'll also share my C thing with you in this video. Hopefully you've started to figure out what your dominant letters are. I actually have a way to do a free mini assessment on my website. Just go to usingdisc.com and a thing will pop up immediately asking you if you want to do a personality assessment. You just select 7 different choices and it will instantly let you know both your dominant letter and your secondary letter. And you can use this tool as many times as you like. It definitely comes in handy to understand the dominant personality type of those you interact with on a regular basis. So I encourage you to spread the word and have everyone you know take advantage of this free tool. So let's jump right into the C personality type. Hopefully you have the fill in the blank worksheet and something to write with. The letter C stands for cautious. The color that represents them is the color yellow, which is also associated with caution. Think about caution tape you've probably seen, or a sign in a store that warns you about a spill on the floor. Caution signs are almost always yellow. The symbol or sign that represents this personality type is the question mark, because they're always questioning everything. I wonder if they're questioning why they're questioning everything. Anyway, the cautious C types are reserved like the S, but they're task-oriented like the D types. That means if they had an extra hour in their day, instead of using that hour to be with people, they would use that extra hour to get more tasks accomplished. The basic needs of a C are quality answers and value. They don't like when people fly by the seat of their pants. They would rather be with people who are prepared and educated on the subject at hand. The words that describe them are calculating, conformist. So if they see a shampoo bottle and it says lather, rinse, and repeat, that's exactly what they will do. They're careful. They don't jump into things right away. They want to take time to take a closer look. They're also competent. They know that they know what they know. And they're critical thinking. They don't take things at face value. They always take a 4-level deep look at things. They're compliance wanting. They believe, hey, the rules exist for a reason and we should all follow them. Now, here's the challenge word for the cautious C type. Sometimes you can be perceived as cold. If they aren't careful, they may be perceived as unapproachable. Now remember, just because someone perceives you a certain way doesn't mean you really are that way. Unfortunately, it will still affect the way they interact with you. So it's very important to understand how you might be perceived by personalities who are different from yours. This is the reason I dedicated an entire training session to this topic. The way someone perceives you will determine the way they receive you. The percentage of the population for the cautious C type is about 20 to 25%. And the cautious C types are A to Z communicators. They love information. The more complex, the better. They love analyzing, dissecting the information that you gave them. This personality type is quality driven. They think that if it's worth doing, it is worth doing right. So they'll spend a lot of extra time on a job to make sure it is done the best way they can do it. Unlike the dominant D personality, who can easily work while bells and whistles and gunshots and fireworks or whatever is happening around them, the cautious C type prefers to work in an area that is quiet or they have some alone time. Have you ever heard someone say this? I can't hear myself think. That is definitely a C personality. They need uninterrupted thinking time. This personality is also very reliable. If they tell you they're going to get something done, you can be sure they will get it done. They may not start the task when you think they should start the task, because a C usually won't begin a task or project until they have everything lined up they need to complete the project. They will need to know where they're getting each resource. They might create a timeline. They might do a graph, and then they'll begin. Sometimes it takes them longer to plan the project than it takes them to do the project. Unfortunately, the moods of a C-type can last for a very long period of time, and you'll be able to see if they're having a bad day because it'll look like they have that big black cloud over their head. If you have ever seen someone walk into the room and their mood was so gloomy that it made you want to walk out of the room, then you have met a cautious C. This personality sees things in black and white. That means there's not much gray area. To them, it's either right or it's wrong. For a C, there is nothing in between. You may have already guessed this about the C-type, but they are a perfectionist. And they don't just have high expectations of themselves, they also have high expectations of other people as well. It's interesting because the high expectations they have for themselves can sometimes keep them from trying new things. Whenever a cautious C-type has an opportunity to try something new, they will sometimes resist because they know they can't do it perfectly. They may say things like, I'm too busy, or ask someone else, or I'm not interested, but the real deal is they know they can't do it perfectly. I love mentioning to a cautious C that everything they do well now was new at one time. C-types need to lean into the try, fail, adjust mindset. I love the saying, a ship is safe in the harbor, but that's not what ships are built for. If you're a C-type, I want to encourage you to get outside your comfort zone. A comfort zone is a wonderful little cozy place, but nothing ever grows there. This personality type is the one who has the most difficulty with trying something new. And this mindset also transfers over into new things in other areas. It doesn't even have to be them trying something new. Whenever change is going to occur, the C-type wants to know exactly when the change will occur, exactly what to expect from that change. The sooner you can let the cautious C know about something new or a change that's going to be occurring, the better. They'll appreciate the extra time to prepare themselves for the change. Another thing that you may have guessed is that the C-types are planners. They want to plan as much of their schedule and their life as possible. It actually causes them a lot of stress if someone changes a plan that has already been made. It's important to remember to never change a time or a deadline with a cautious C. They have worked their entire day around meeting you at a specific time or meeting a deadline at a specific time. If you change that time, it creates a domino effect for the C-types. It is so important to only make changes if absolutely necessary. You definitely don't want to make a habit out of making a change. This may be very difficult for the inspiring I-types because they have no trouble making changes. They will even change a plan at the last second, and it doesn't at all make them uncomfortable. This is the perfect example of interacting with each personality type the way they need you to. It doesn't matter what you would have done or what you are comfortable with. What matters is the person on the other side of the situation or the conversation. What do they need from you in order to get what you want? This is the win-win situation you'll hear me refer to a lot in this video series. I do this so I can hopefully get you thinking about how you are interacting with other personality types. Hopefully, you'll take a moment to ask yourself what their personality type is, and then remind yourself to interact with them the way they need you to. Those extra few seconds that you spend thinking about this will pay off in spades. Not only does it help them receive the message you wanted them to get, but it lets them know you understand them and what they need. This results in building trust, which is your ultimate goal. It should be to have the relationship with others that is built on trust. It is very difficult to have someone in your life that you don't trust. It is definitely not a pleasant experience. Just by interacting with someone proactively, you will make them feel understood and build that trust. Pretty cool, right? This may sound simple to do, but the trick is to consciously do it. This may never come naturally to you. By the way, the hardest part of doing what I do is paying attention to other people. If we're being honest, the person we pay the most attention to is ourselves. We're thinking about what we need to accomplish or where we need to go. In order to interact with others effectively, you have to take the focus off of you and put it on the other person. People are constantly giving you signs that let you know their dominant personality. You just have to know what to look for and then look for it. There's actually a training video in this series about speed reading personality types that will let you know all of the signs that others are giving you. You'll be amazed how easy it is to figure out someone's dominant personality type if you're paying attention. So what else should you know about the cautious C type? This personality type does not like surprises. They don't want a surprise party. They don't want a surprise gift. They don't want anything to be a surprise. This has to do with them being the planner that I just talked about earlier. If you are an I personality, this probably makes you incredibly sad. It's very difficult for an I personality to even comprehend someone wouldn't like a surprise. I still remember years ago when my husband was stationed at Scott Air Force Base in Illinois. We lived on base, and there was a couple who lived in the duplex next to us that were dual military. That means that both the husband and the wife were active duty. The wife found out she would be deploying for 6 months. My inspiring I daughter began to tell me how lonely the husband is going to be and how we need to make sure we invite him over often for game nights. I then told her that he will be just fine because he is a cautious C personality. In fact, he may appreciate the time he has alone. I also still remember when I was speaking for a group many years ago, when I brought up this point about the C types not liking surprises and not to give them a surprise party, one of the people attending the session stood up and exclaimed, "Oh no, the party is tonight." He was an I who had planned a party for the C that evening for his spouse. I am going to assume that did not end well. It's so important to remember to do unto others as they would have you do unto them. The C types can also be somewhat of a germaphobe. In fact, they will often have that antibacterial soap within reach. This is actually my C thing. Remember how I told you I was going to reveal my C thing? This is it. I'm a bit of a germaphobe. I hate buffets because everyone else has touched the serving utensils. And I cringe when I grab a salt shaker at a restaurant, and I always drink from a straw instead of drinking directly from the glass. This really makes no sense because I'm still eating from a fork that somebody else used. I actually met a C-type one time that always ordered a glass of hot water, and then they would sterilize their utensils in the restaurant. I also met a C-type who brings her own sheets when she stays at a hotel. Now, I found that amusing because it's actually the comforter that they rarely wash. So now that I've revealed my C thing, let me tell you my husband's C thing. As you already know from me talking about my husband in the previous videos, my husband is an IS personality. He's very people-oriented. He's pretty laid back. And when he was active duty and we moved 12 times in 15 years, he was just fine living out of boxes until we moved again, as long as the bed was made. Now, I don't make the bed. I'm a D. I'm going to get right back in it again at the end of the day. So to me, that's a total waste of time. Now, here's the part I hope you'll find amusing because I didn't. When we were first married, he used to make the bed around me. I am still in the bed, and I can feel him tucking in the sheets all around me. Needless to say, we had a chat about that real quick, okay? Now, the C-types also don't take things at face value. When they hear someone say something, here's their first thought. What did you mean by that? In fact, if you've ever heard someone say that out loud, it was a C, because they're 4-level deep thinkers. They believe that what you say isn't really what you mean. They believe there's a deeper meaning. They also love to use charts and graphs and lists. They're very important to them. They don't understand why everyone doesn't use them. Now, if you're an I, you might have made a list, but then you left it at home. So it did you absolutely no good. Being organized is very important to a C. If you hear someone say a place for everything and everything in its place, they are definitely a cautious C. C-types are very thrifty in nature. They don't use the word thrifty. They probably prefer words like cost conscious. Sometimes they'll even find a use for items that someone else has discarded. Many years ago, I had a boss who would reuse envelopes. He would white out the return address and the mailing address, carefully remove the old stamp, and reuse the envelope. Who would want to lick that? He also wouldn't throw away a disposable plate. It had a crack in it and he still used it. He just ate off the other side. If you've ever seen the show Extreme Couponers, you are seeing the C personality types. One of the things that is not so fun when interacting with the C is they are programmed to be pessimistic. They naturally see the negative before they can see the positive. Now, an awesome thing about a C is they're usually prepared for any situation. So men will often have that Swiss Army knife with the corkscrew and the scissors and a file. And then women will have necessity kits. So they'll have it in their purse or in their desk at work. And it's going to contain things like toothpicks, Band-Aids, mints, gum, fingernail file, anything they consider a necessity, aspirin. They're going to have it or they know where to get it very quickly. C's also enjoy things that challenge their mind. They love chess and Sudoku and crossword puzzles. And they're very suspicious in nature. They want to know why you eyes are acting so happy. You can't really possibly be this happy all the time. And they will not touch you unless you have a close relationship with them. If you try to hug them, it's going to be like hugging a board. Now, if you've ever gone to hug someone and they stuck their hand out, that is a C personality. C's love poetry, art, literature, philosophy, symphonies. The I's are going to have trouble with this, but the C's actually enjoy term papers and research projects. Can you imagine? They also believe in quality, not quantity. And they make decisions based on logic, not emotion. So this is another personality type that may challenge what you're saying. They also have a methodical approach, just like the supportive S types. And they're motivated by safety and security. They want to know how something will affect them both now and in the future. So they'll do lots of research and analyzing before making a decision. I hope this gives you lots of great insights into the cautious C personality type. It's amazing how we are all so different and we come with our own set of natural strengths and challenges. I want to encourage you to not only try to interact with others based on who they are, but to also appreciate their strengths. That's it for now. I hope you have an amazing day.
I think in my family, I've got one of each. I mean, I've got one kid one way, one kid another. I'm one way, my husband's another. That's wild, isn't it?
That is really funny.
Have you taken the DISC test?
Oh, I didn't have to take, I took this 40 years ago, 20 years ago, at least 2 or 3 times.
What about
They
you?
used to teach this as the very beginning of a sales career. You had to learn all this.
Do we have access to it ourselves to take the test?
You could go on that website she just told
Yeah,
me.
using disc.com, there's a free personality test online for you.
And I think you could pay a little bit and even
Yeah, there's a
do
little more detailed, but-
do a more detailed
Yeah.
one.
I think I did one before I did it, but yeah. Pretty funny.
All right. So C's are represented by the blank yellow, the color yellow.
That I didn't understand. I never had heard of the colors or the symbols. That's new for me.
There's symbols? I don't know
Yeah.
symbols.
Symbol is a question mark, she said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so.
All right. The basic needs of a C are blank answers and value. Quality
Quality answers.
answers and value. The challenge word for a C is cold. A C's types blank can last for a long period of time.
Analysis.
Moods.
Oh, moods.
Yes, C types moods can last for a long period of time. A C's high expectations of themselves can sometimes keep them from blank new things. trying new things.
Trying new things.
Trying.
Okay.
Did we lose Connie? We lost her. I think this is an error. D types are one of two personalities. You think that really means D or C? I think C. Yeah, C.
Yeah. Yeah, C types are one or two personality types who are very quick to spend money. C types do not blank surprises.
Like,
They do not like surprises. C types don't take things at face blank value. C types love to use blanks, graphs, and lists.
Charts.
C types are blank in nature.
cautious.
Cautious, like
Thrifty.
suspicious. What did you say?
Thrifty.
Oh, thrifty.
All right, true or false? C types like to be very organized. True. C types always see the negative before they see the positive. True. C types prefer to go with the flow instead of planning everything. False. C types are outgoing and people oriented. False. C types are usually prepared for any situation and have items on them that most don't. True. All right.
We have lost some people.
Let's see.
Who's good there?
Connie and Berger are still there.
There we go. Oh, that was fun.
Well, we've officially been through all the personality types. Maybe that gives you some more insight into what you might be or what people in your life might be. I know I definitely feel like I'm a CIS.
What, did you do the test yet?
No, I haven't done the test, but if I feel like if I took it, I feel like it'd be along the lines of
You
this.
should have, just to see how close you are. Yes, of course, you're a little bit of all, so there's a little bit D there too.
Yeah, but if I was to order like which one I
Yes,
was and
yes.
like in more most dominant,
Yeah.
CISD.
That's good.
And again, my story is the presenter who presented to us, I'll never forget that. Everybody in the room said was an I. And then it turns out they were an S. But the point was, he changed his personality when he was doing the presentation because he was in a big room of people, right? So you could change your personality.
Connie's all of them except I. No I personality.
You're no I. Oh, come on, Connie.
See, I'm an I only because of the forgetfulness and the things like that. I'm not very like sociable, but the other half of the I is where I am.
All good, that's good. Yes, that was fun.
All right, guys. Well, that's about all we had for today, unless you guys have anything you guys want to bring up.
No, I just wanna ask Bertha about my transaction. Are we good? She's like, we don't need any more documentations.
Ah, okay. Well, I think she might be off
Oh,
right
she's
now.
really good. Yeah.
Just email her and she'll.
Yeah.
Or call her, you could call her too.
Yeah.
All right, you got it, Augie.
Thank you.
Oh, this is. What is, Raymond, what's the address of Calaveras? This is somebody who says they're looking for developmental potential properties with 10,000 square feet. San Jose, Sunny, and what is the address of
That would be perfect.
Calaveras?
Yeah, it's a 919.
Hang on, let me see.
1995.
1995, Old Calaveras in Milpitas.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So,
Yeah, hopefully they like that one because we're still looking.
How do I spell Calaveras? This is my last name.
CALAVERAS.
Calaveras. And there's road. Okay. Raymond, how are we doing on this PR?
I can get it out today. I mean, I should
Well-
have everything now,
y-
unless you guys, you would just.
No, I'm not worried about that. I had two thoughts though. One is that Margaret said to regroup on those two pictures. It's true, the
Oh, okay.
pictures with that, I think she was hoping you could kind of maybe get in closer.
Oh, yeah, just make it
And-
zoom it in, yeah.
Yeah, to make a better picture, less
Right.
legs, and I actually wish they had held that down a little bit. But anyway, I think she maybe wanted you to kind of doctor up that, the picture of she and Mary.
Mhm.
I sent you the other two pictures,
Mhm.
you know, so you should have three pictures. The only other thing I thought, remember I said maybe we should add to the press release in Margaret's quote?
Uh-huh.
I was thinking we could add this year's date. So if you go into that PR, Margaret could say, you know, this was our biggest year yet, blah, 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 and you know, please consider joining us next year on November 8th. Because now we know the date we're gonna do it, right?
Yeah.
So that would be the one thing, to make Margaret's quote look a little longer. So doesn't have to be done, but I do think she might want you to fix that picture.
Oh, yeah.
So if you put it all together, I think it's ready to go.
Okay.
I don't know if Mondays or Tuesdays are better days to go out, but we should try to get it out tomorrow.
Okay.
Maybe this,
Oh,
yeah, so with our pet photos and our money and stuff, so, yeah.